Money grows, peace can grow. Money that can grow, only money grows.
What's up, YouTube fam? It's your man King Marcel, and we are back with another video. I don't know if you guys been hearing about all of this fraud that's being exposed, from these Somalians to Drake to the banking system with the silver. It's like everything is compiling and exploding all at once. And I hope you guys are preparing yourselves, because with all of this fraud being exposed, the United States dollar is going to drop tremendously. So I just hope you guys are preparing for that, and you know what I'm saying, you paying attention. But there's been more developments in the Somalian daycare center case, and it's getting out of hand. They talking about they found 4,000 daycares within a 20-mile radius. It's not that many kids in one place. So we about to check this out and see what new information is coming out. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. We on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys are subbing up and joining the kingdom. But with that being said, let's get into this chaos, man.
4,000 daycares were discovered in a 20-mile radius
4,000
around Boston, Massachusetts. There are clusters of condos and homes that are registering themselves as daycares. Americans can't even fathom the theft and money laundering taking place nationwide. Why are any of us paying taxes? Let me play this clip for you guys. If you hadn't seen my last video,
because you gotta understand that they're getting a tax write-off for doing this too. You can write that off on your taxes. That's crazy.
I
but I'm paying
Ilhan
taxes
Omar
though.
directly
to
the Quality Leering Center. Guys, it's insane. We know with another restaurant that she was receiving campaign donations through that already, that was linked to fraud. Now, if you see Quality Daycare Center or Quality Leering Center, guys, it's so insane. The restaurant is in the restaurant it's in the front now, right? But before, it used to have the name of the daycare. Well, what they did was they moved it to the side door, basically like the kitchen door, the back room door, the storage door is where you see that Quality Leering Center sign.
So I don't know if you guys know what she's talking about, but they found one of these daycares was at a restaurant. It's literally a restaurant where people can go in, sit down, eat. You can order takeout, you know what I'm saying? It's a restaurant. But they have it listed as a daycare. And on the side of the building, they put up a sign that said, I think it said Learning Center or something like that. And they had misspelled learning. I mean, and that's funny and all, but y'all gotta understand how serious this is. This is very disturbing. Like, it's not even a good fraud. Like who job was it to go and investigate these places to see if they were legitimate? Come on, look at this big ass cluster of daycares. Ain't no way it's that many kids. You know what I'm saying? In this area. And no one thought this was fishy. No one thought that this was crazy. And if this is happening here, where else is this happening at? Like, man, this is scary.
There's a restaurant up front. This restaurant couldn't be more than 20 feet deep, right? And then you hit the door to the other thing. And Ilhan Omar was promoting this place. She's in all the promotions for it. It's insane. If you have not seen this video,
I think she's like a council member or something
over there. But as I said, this is all over the place. It's in Maine, Massachusetts, Ohio, Seattle. We are seeing all of this fraud just in daycares, and then also healthcare facilities. I just did in that last video as well, 60 healthcare businesses in one building, this dilapidated warehouse that is Somali run. Just in one of them, there were 60 of them. 60 of them, okay? So this fraud goes deep and wide, but let's get into it.
Like what? And this is just in these two sectors. That's the most disturbing part. This fraud can span in every enterprise that is on this nation, that is damn near on this planet. But we can only worry about our nation. here in the United States, they had doing this damn near in every type of business you can think of. This fraud is probably happening in. Because what's stopping it? What's stopping somebody from filing all of these LLCs? It's nothing. There's but I feel like this is just going to be an excuse to get us over to centralized banking so that they in everybody business. And it's like, I'm not doing no damn fraud. Y'all ain't got to be in my pocketbook. I ain't fraud.
Well,
Y'all fraud.
In the course of the last couple of hours, I think the majority of the fraud is happening in clusters within the same either family members or groups of people or whatever it may be. And it's all happening at it's not very deep, but it's very wide, if that makes sense. So I think that what's happening is it's happening in clusters. And these are clusters of let's say, condos or multifamily homes or whatever it is. And what is happening, and I'm going to find it, by the way. And what's happening is they're all using these single apartments, single condos, or potentially even a single family home if it's really outside of Boston. They're using those as the daycares. That's what's happening. Okay. And their capacity is not the same as it is in Minnesota. That's just the fact. So I think it's happening at scale with a smaller capacity. But so there's probably more people committing fraud at a smaller scale, if that makes sense. So you're not going to have one building that is committing $5 million in fraud, but you might have 50 buildings that are committing $1 million in fraud. That is going to be the difference between Massachusetts and a place like Minneapolis, because again, the barrier to entry to open a daycare is very, very low, which provides the barrier to entry for fraud to be very, very, very high. And it's very unfortunate because who gets stuck with the bill? We do. What these businesses are doing is that they're charging the state basically to subsidize the payments for these kids that are not even showing up there. The parents are saying that the kids are showing up there, and then both the daycare and the parent allegedly are splitting the money. This is happening.
Like,
and
what?
if they're on government assistance, think about. They are benefiting in more than one way. They are getting these vouchers for the daycare. The daycare also gets money from the state. So you combine it all, like they are getting from both ends. Both ends they're doing this. And I'm going to show you how that fraud works exactly in a second. But let me pull up this map. Hopefully, let me make
look at that map. That's
okay. So this is the map
ain't no
that he
way.
pulled together of the daycares in this radius. Is this insane?
That is insane.
And a lot of the radius is water. So if you cut that part out, there is no need for all of these daycares, okay? These Somali daycares. Who knows what other community is doing this as well.
Exactly.
So, the fraud goes on and on. Now, tying back into that, okay? So this is an example of what they do. Two Somali sisters living next door to each other in taxpayer-funded housing can make $387,000 a year by looking after each other's 4 children.
Wow.
You do not need to be liked by everybody. You need to choose your friends.
Man, we should have been getting in on this. What?
Is that wild? If they have 8 children each, they make $774,000, which we know they have a bunch of kids.
Wow.
Right? We are paying for our ethnic placement, guys. This is... They've done this on purpose. The government has done this on purpose.
Yeah, they did.
Because
we wasn't voting for them no more.
Why are these things happening?
That's the thing. So-called black folks are realizing they are the main land stakeholders here in the United States. And as we learning that we are the true Native Americans and we are coming back to the Most High God and we want to reclaim this land, they like, oh yeah, we finna get rid of y'all. That's what it's seeming like. That's what it's feeling like. People can try to say I'm tripping. Man, that's what it's starting to really feel like and smell like. And it's getting, and it's like, all right. We gonna see how that go. We gonna see how all of this work out for y'all, because it's already written. This ain't finna work out too kindly for you folks that's finna try to pull this card. I promise you. Black folks, y'all need to reclaim y'all sovereignty. I don't care what nobody here's saying. I don't care what nobody talking about. Y'all need to reclaim y'all sovereignty, because if you don't, it's finna get rough. It's finna get real rough.
It seems as though they and I even cover with election fraud. There's election fraud tied to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I just said, they want us to vote for them. I'm telling y'all.
It's this invasion that they want our borders open, and they want to prioritize all of these people other than the American taxpayers. Well, this is what's happening.
Man.
Yes, we're sending out billions in foreign aid, but there is more than enough fraud here.
Exactly.
Just in the system alone. That this is why everyone is just in shock. But this has been going on for decades. This is a scheme, and it ties directly back to politics, right? So this doesn't have any, like, it's just like kind of music playing. But let me just see if we want to see that. It says, so you are Somali in Washington State. And you have 4 children. I mean, I think it kind of explains the same thing. I don't think we need to go over it. But just to give you an idea of what this is, so how this scheme works. Like, can you imagine? Like, you go to work every day, and these people could just, with their own kids, they live next door to each other, and just register each other's kids in their fake daycare. That's what they're doing, and this is how this cycle continues. And these daycares aren't real; they're just shell companies. They're just fake. And speaking of fake, Feeding Our Future, which is a separate scheme that was $250 million stolen from children getting a school lunch program under Tim Walz. That was like the main thing. And then all this other fraud popped up. It says, my jaw's on the floor. Amy Bach, the ringleader of the Feeding Our Future COVID fraud scheme, is listed as the contact for at least 47 taxpayer-funded child cares in Minnesota, according to the official state database. These locations must be investigated for potential further fraud. So this is a woman that was convicted. Her name, she's the contact for all of these daycares.
Wow.
Do you see how insane this is? Look at this. I got more. Somalia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, who owns a healthcare company in Ohio.
Wow.
So the Somali Minister of Foreign Affairs in Somalia owns a healthcare company
here
in Ohio,
that makes sense to
tax
y'all?
dollars. So this Somali government official
for another country
owns this company, healthcare company
owns
in
a company
our country,
here,
in
getting
Ohio,
our tax dollars,
and is getting tax dollars for it.
Are y'all insane?
He also owns another LLC.
These people insane? Then I'm seeing some of these people online trying to confront people for exposing it like they wrong. Man, it's our money. And this is what I'm sorry, let me calm down. But this is what I've been trying to tell people. Oh, that American dream, you know what I'm saying, Gooba Gaba that they've been feeding us. It's been exactly that. It's been Gooba Gaba. And what it actually is that the United States has always been the slavery capital of the world since its inception, and it's never changed. They just made everybody on this mud slaves. Y'all think slavery coming? Slavery been here. Taxation is slavery. Taxation is slavery. Y'all gotta understand, we work for these people and then we're being taxed by these same people. That's slavery. That is what was going on back then. It's not that the slaves wasn't getting paid. They was getting paid. I don't know if you guys watched the movie Sinners. We had different forms of payment. But it was because the slave masters ran the financial system. It's the same way today. But if we say these certain people name who they are, it's just like how back then, the people who owned the slaves were these same people who are doing this manipulation right now, claiming to be a certain people that they are not. We cannot keep letting this happen because it's getting to a point, it's already at a point. We are heading down a path that is very dark. And we have to, if we gonna get on the other side and be better and not let the devil take control, we have to stand firm on our convictions and understand we've been manipulated. We have to turn our brains back on and do something about it. Because the other alternative is very bleak.
With the same address as the Somali money transfer org accused of funding terrorism. His business partner appears to be working for the money transfer org too.
I'm sorry, did y'all hear that?
Business partner accused of funding terrorism.
I don't know.
in our country, in Ohio, and is getting tax dollars for it.
Like,
He also owns another LLC with the same address as the Somali Money Transfer Org, accused of funding terrorism.
without tax dollars.
His business partner appears to be working for the Money Transfer Org too. This just keeps getting worse
And worse.
Are you
and
guys
worse,
tracking this?
And worse and worse.
Excuse me. You guys know I'm so under the weather. So this government official owns a healthcare business in the U.S. under that and is getting taxpayer dollars for that, our dollars. In that same building, that same office, is this organization. It's a money transfer organization to Somalia that funds terrorism.
Insanity.
This is the paperwork. This is the paperwork, guys.
This is
I guess this gives a
insanity.
little bit more.
And it's like,
yeah,
are we going to
His name
keep?
is Abdul
Like, I'm reiterating. But
All right,
this
and
is
then
like,
this is the money transfer services
come on,
that they use
y'all.
in order to fund terrorism back in Somalia. That is a direct link to terrorism, but we've already known that it was that. But let me play this clip for you. It says Minnesota Somalis have apparently stolen more than the GDP of Somalia, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. Nationwide welfare fraud could amount to $1.5 trillion a year. That's enough to exempt all Americans from income tax for up to $200,000.
Like what?
Somali
Like
Daycare
what?
Powerhouse Quality Leering Center has closed. If you need to leer your kids, you will need a new daycare. The nation is being seized
damn
by what
kids go there.
Zero Hedge calls the Nick Shirley effect, as hundreds of citizen journalists fan out exposing what looks like tens of billions, perhaps trillions, of government fraud. What's been found so far focuses on the Somali community, where despite nearly 90% of these model migrants being on welfare, they've managed to set up tens of thousands of apparently fraudulent daycares, autism therapy centers, food for kids programs, and home health companies.
This is wild.
To give a flavor, there's apparently
This is
one
actually very
Somali healthcare
disturbing.
company per 3 Somalis in
Very,
the
very
nation.
disturbing.
Somali-run autism grants in Minnesota now run $399 million a year. That's up from $3 million 7 years ago. Somali child nutrition scams were actually prosecuted for $300 million stolen, after which even more scams sprung up while the city and state turned a blind eye lest anybody call them racist. So far, it comes to an estimated $8 billion of Somali fraud in Minnesota alone, roughly $250,000 per Somali household, meaning the roughly 65,000 Somali adults in Minnesota managed to steal more than the entire GDP of the nation of Somalia. So Saudi Arabia has oil, China has factories, Somalia has quality leering centers.
Like,
Unfortunately,
what?
Somalis are just the tip of the iceberg. A new study found half of New York City is on Medicaid. Note, average income in New York City is $81,000 for the household. Nearly 40% of New Yorkers are foreign-born, meaning they are getting free care when the rest of us who pay for it shell out tens of thousands for insurance. A 2023 City of New York survey found foreigners, there's not foreign-born, but actual foreigners, occupy nearly a third of public housing and over 40% of rent-controlled and stabilized units in the city. California is even worse. The state auditor recently tallied $70 billion in fraud, including $2.5 billion of SNAP fraud and $24 billion in fraud for homelessness. The fraud industrial complex, of course, took off during COVID. The Small Business Administration estimates $64 billion in fraudulent PPP loans. Other estimates run to $8 billion. Given the median PPP loan was $20,000, that implies 4 million people should be in prison. Toss in the COVID-era economic injury loans, where up to $200 billion was stolen, implying another 2 million felons. So take Minnesota Somalis multiplied by 20.
These numbers, bro. Why? I'm sorry, because I'm an American. I pay my taxes, man, and I struggle. I struggle a lot. You know what I'm saying? Been halfway dealing with depression. I was dealing with anxiety attacks at the beginning of this year because of the pressure I've been feeling like I'm under. And these folks been just coming here and they just been, man, just reaping the benefits off of my back and sound like, bro, how am I supposed to feel? You know what I'm saying? Like genuinely asking y'all let me know down in the comment section. How is this, all this fraud is being exposed? Not just with these amounts, I don't even want to make it just about them. It's a lot of fraud that's being exposed across the board. It's not just with this. And this is looking like it's trillions. And it's looking like in every sector. How are we supposed to feel? We supposed to want to keep doing this? Now it makes sense why they want to hurry up and get us over to some type of social currency to where they can control it, because we supposed to want to keep doing this? Or are we gonna find out another way? Like genuinely, because this ain't it, bro. This ain't it, bro. Y'all finna just keep scheming and taking advantage of good people who want to believe in cohesiveness and working together. Well, we finna have to root out you evil bloodsuckers for real, because y'all tripping, bro. Y'all are tripping.
Plus blue states,
this is
dozens
insanity.
Of nationalities. For example, 8 Indian gas stations in Texas got $32 million in SBA loans, in case you wonder why Indians own all these 7-Elevens. Now, long-standing government estimates of fraud run north of $500 billion a year. Elon Musk thinks it's closer to $1.5 trillion, which seems right, given what's being exposed. That would be roughly half of income taxes, leading many Americans to suggest perhaps we should stop paying tax until government gets control of the fraud. So it's next brought to you by I Trust Capital. The left is responding exactly.
Because why are we finna keep paying? Why are we paying?
A lawmaker blew the whistle on this nearly a decade ago. Even testified in Congress. Nothing was done about it.
Because they in on it.
Okay.
These government officials are in on it. It's obvious.
A decade ago and buried. Back in 2015, a former government fraud investigator sounded the alarm. Millions in taxpayer dollars were being siphoned through daycares. When asked how big the problem was, his answer was blunt: massive. They didn't want a fraud unit touching it. It was nothing but a cover-up. We found evidence of companies pulling millions in public subsidies for fake child care services. At its core, this was the construction of a full-blown criminal enterprise. 10 years later, and suddenly everyone's shocked. No, they're not shocked. They knew this was going on. Guys, I told you, I don't even think anyone's going to go to jail. Ilhan Omar, I talked about that, Tim Walz. We keep uncovering these things. How the evil that is going on in this country while they continue to oppress us. And I mean, we can barely afford groceries, gas. Our utilities are going through the roof. People can't afford to buy homes. Job losses.
But this is going on
by the millions. Right?
We got all those factors stacked against us. But yet then we got on top of that, these people just breaking our back in like this, man. And y'all, they trying to be mad that we're finding out from this. I'm telling you, I seen a lot of videos of Somalians down there about ready to beat people for talking about this. How you mad we finding out? With the people that's on the Epstein list, how they just blotted out, like this was by law that y'all had to release them files. They sent us all of that blacked out information. Like we just stupid. It's just getting insulting at this point. It's been insulting. Now y'all just like it's like they calling our bluff. They calling the published bluff, like, and it's man, bro. This is real. And it's just the start of this year. I know this year's finna be crazy. This is
AI coming
this
in.
Already crazy.
All of these things at once. Plus, we're going to war. Like, we have all of these things at once coming in and converging. And it's all designed to break us, to completely break our spirit, to completely break our trust in anything. But at the same time, we're supposed to just trust the government and trust they have our best interests at heart. And I told you that still moving forward about the censorship that's coming, the nearly 20 bills that are in Congress right now to shut down our freedom of speech. And no one's paying attention to that because now we have this. Like everywhere you look, we are getting hit. And I told you that's why my trust and belief is in Jesus Christ, because if you do not believe that these are the end times, that these are the end,
because what else y'all think this is? What do y'all think this is?
Imagine what we're not.
Exactly.
But even when we do, evil is never prosecuted. Evil is never dealt with. Evil is never held to account. And we're going to continue
unless we hold it accountable.
How significant is this problem?
Massive. They don't want
it's disgusting.
A fraud unit to do anything. They want a fraud unit on paper.
Halicki was fired in 2013 while in the midst of a big investigation. The county claims he was an insubordinate bully whose tactics were hampering efforts to catch welfare cheats.
They don't want to point fingers at various organizations and people.
Because they in on it.
This is nothing but a giant cover-up.
So I finally got my hands on the brown.
They didn't want to expose it because they in on it.
Loops. And no more zip.
They would be exposing themselves.
We uncovered evidence the company was collecting millions in public subsidies for providing bogus child care services to low-income families.
In essence, this scheme was really involved creating a criminal enterprise.
In December, Ramsey County charged Deco's owner with fraud.
The daycares that I'm going to be showing you from this point on all bill over $100,000 a month.
Halicki says before he was fired, he was
this
tracking
back in
a similar scheme in
y'all.
Hennepin County involving multiple child care centers.
7 a.m. to 6 p.m. There are no lights on.
This building is housing its third daycare center in as many years.
They just
for years, they just been finessing us, y'all. For years, this been going
by the
on.
County because of billing irregularities.
Hour after hour, I would sit here and document nothing.
Halicki discovered one center was charging the county for kids who were never dropped off. He took us to center after center that had no sign outside to indicate it was a daycare. When we knocked on the doors during posted business hours, no one answered. So we checked state inspection records for each of the centers on Halicki's tour. They've all been cited for licensing violations, the kind that are red flags to the state's Department of Human Services.
This is a cover-up. This is a deliberate attempt by the officials in Hennepin County to deceive the taxpayers. I have emails, I have documents, I have everything to prove they knew, and they looked the other way.
Here's an email he sent to the supervisor of the fraud unit. The goal was to stop the bleeding as quickly as possible and protect taxpayer money from going out the door. Now you want to stop the process? I know you're motivated and rightly concerned, she responds. Let's get a plan together to tackle these centers.
Is nothing but a giant cover-up.
Our focus is really primarily on prevention, but certainly we investigate and take action and work with our county attorney's office whenever there is.
And then he could sit in front of it's these bastards like this, these slimy demons that look us in our face and lie with a smile on his face. Why this dirty bastard is helping these people just steal all our money because he get a cut. And they think it's finna continue, bro. Man, these folks out their minds.
It has occurred.
In the 2 years since Halicki was fired,
she disgusted. I'm disgusted. Y'all not?
We found most counties in the metro aren't
they got me tripping in this room, bro.
Fraud. They're handing those cases off to a special team with the Department of Human Services.
Ain't no way.
That ramped up more than a year ago.
Public's wondering, what's taking you guys so long?
Nobody is more frustrated with the amount of time it's taking than we are.
Really?
Like,
it's the same game that they are playing over and
over again. And now we about to just keep letting them go. That's the thing. Because this is our lives that they're piggybacking off of. It's our lives that's funding this bullshit while we the ones stressed out. We the ones can't afford if we fucking get sick to take off from work. Or we are then that try to die at the job before we go get checked on. Because I can't get the time off. I need the money. And even if I go, it's going to be too expensive. It's bro. It's so many factors stacked against us, and then they just keep dumping more and more and more on us as they just take and take and take and take. And are we gonna keep taking it, bro? It's always gonna be something. Then y'all rather look at Cardi B and all of these distractions and all of this BS that's going on instead of looking at the stuff that's actually affecting your lives. This is why we don't have no money here. This is why our dollar is going down the drain. We got sellouts as our leaders. They're playing the game. They're not leaders. They're for show. They're political actors. Literally, look up the definition of a political actor. And look at each one of your government officials today. Are they the ones really in charge? Or is it these municipal towns ran by the governor of Washington, D.C., not the president? Y'all got to learn what's going on. These people are playing the grandest of schemes, the biggest scam that's ever been had on this planet. And we are allowing it. This is our money. We worked. We put in the time. But then it's people who, they just moved in to take our spot when we don't agree with them. Because that's what this is about. Man, I'm getting so hot, bro.
But I don't know, guys. Trust the government. They're going to do something. Everything's going to be done now. I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. And I'm just, every day there is something new. Not just with this case, but with everything that's coming out.
Like, come
guys,
on.
There's some, I have some more reporting I'm going to do. So make sure you subscribe.
But make sure y'all go and check out her channel. Her name is, I'm just worked up now. Beline King. I believe that's how you say her name. She be putting out good info. We gonna check out a lot more of her videos. But man, oh man. And again, I don't want to make it because people gonna always make it a race thing. They gonna always make it about, first of all, I'm a so-called black man. Y'all wanna call me? I'm an Israelite. I am an Israelite. And this affects me. That's why I'm mad. And it's not just these people that's doing this. Like I said, we just found out what Drake's doing with Steak. You think everybody who was involved with Drake wasn't using that? Is that why everybody was keeping him around, like 21 Savage and Young Thug, you know? I need y'all to look at the bigger picture. The stuff that's going on with Silver. If y'all don't know what's going on with Silver right now and how that's finna wreck this system like you wouldn't believe, you need to start. Y'all need to know what's going on, because this year I feel like it's going to be the death of the dollar. It's going to be the death of the United States dollar, and they allowed it to happen for what they want to come next. But if we just learn what's going on and look at each other and say, I got your back, you got mine, and maybe we could come out on the other side a little bit better. But I don't know, man. I just know time will tell. But if you guys like this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you notified whenever I do drop a video here. We on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys are subbing up and joining the kingdom. But with that being said, King Marcel out. Peace.
It's a lie, looking for the prize. That's eternal life. And bringing the change in my mind. Talking real peace of mind.